Hello.
I'm Nair.
And I'm Bellow.
And we were Perspeculative.
And it's 1 a.m.
Somewhere. Today we wanted to talk about recommends. Specifically, a Nair recommends. That's me. And I recommended a show to, well, one of many, to Bellow here.
Where?
Right here. And it was the Ancient Magus Bride.
Yeah, so she had talked about this on a previous segment. The top 3 dogs of shonen anime that we did. Talking about Ruth. And went into a lot of detail about that character. And you might have guessed it. He's a dog. Kind of.
More dog than human.
Yeah, that sort of opened the door for her recommending it to me.
I really liked the characters, the dynamic between them, their relationships. I liked the fantasy elements. And that it was based on existent things, but it still kept it interesting. For those reasons, I really thought that Bella would like it too, which she did.
Yeah, I really think it was like a home run with this. Nair recommends, because I liked a lot about it. I thought it was a nice change of pace as far as a lot of anime. And don't get me wrong, I absolutely love Japanese culture. I think it's very interesting, and there's so many facets to it and stories that are beautiful and detailed that can be explored and expressed in different ways in anime. But it's a very ongoing theme. So I really appreciated the change of pace of seeing English culture kind of spotlighted in Ancient Magus Bride, because he pulls her from Japan, spoiler alert, to England, to a just beautiful English cottage. You know, like Japanese scenes, and they're taking a bath together, and you're like, as an American, wow, that's so cool. How they have the bathtubs with the wooden lids and the spigot and everything, and they're washing themselves. And
Taking baths, so interesting.
yeah, well, you know what I mean? But
No,
really,
I do.
It's very different from American culture and American bathrooms, especially modern bathrooms.
I wish I had a Japanese bathroom.
I know. We've talked about this before, me and Nair. But, so it was just nice to see those bathroom scenes, but an English bathroom. Metal clawfoot bathtub and a bath screen, and her getting in that way, and very English food.
Well, and the fantasy elements of it too.
Yeah, we're very derived from English culture. Now, that is something that I think you do see a lot more of. Even in Japanese anime, that you see things derived from English culture as far as like fantasy creatures and stuff like that, but not the English countryside, not the English architecture. Just sort of like a breath of fresh air, and it sort of gave it its own scenery. So I really appreciated that. And then, of course, the main character looks very different. The male main character. Definitely not at all what you expect when you're like, oh, it's sort of kind of like a romantic show. And what do you picture as the guy? Definitely not a deer skull, you know?
What? You don't?
What? That's what I'm into. Maybe an antelope, you know?
Oh, God. Keep it interesting.
Switch it up, honey. Anyway, so I thought that was something intriguing for me, because I really wanted to figure out the backstory, like why does he have a skull head, you know? And I don't think you ever figure it out. I've started the last episode like 7 times, and I keep trying to watch it after work, so it's like midnight, 1 a.m., and I fall asleep like the first 2 minutes trying to rewatch what I already watched, and then I wake up the next morning, I'm like, shit, I missed it again.
The struggle is real.
Yeah. So.
At least for her. I don't have that problem.
Anyway, so, I'm not a huge believer in trigger warnings, but I do want to mention that there are some themes in the show that some people might find off-putting. It's almost like slice of life isekai, almost, because she's pulled from such a different life into a new life. She doesn't die and get reincarnated, but she is pulled from a sort of foster care situation where she's just pawned from family to family, and sort of reminded me of Book of Friends, in that they think she's weird and she's different and she's inhuman, and they don't like that and they don't love her even though she's their niece or their cousin or what have you, and pulled from that into a completely different life by her new mentor. I think that it does get very slice of life with 3 or 5 dashes of magic, which, if you guys have been listening for any great amount of time, you know that that's something I enjoy. I like that. Mm-hmm. And I like isekai, so it fit well. But there is a very dark undertone.
Yeah, it's more than an undertone. It's kind of right in the open. But yeah, no, there is definitely a lot that happens and that goes on that is really messed up and can be very triggering.
I just say undertone because it's not prevalent in every single episode. I think it's more so as it gets towards the final episodes, which of course is when you've eaten all the toppings and now you're digging into the bottom of the pie shell. I think that's similar with a lot of different shows, not just anime and not just this anime. So I do think it gets a bit darker more towards the end that you go. There is some gore and sort of violent scenes that I didn't really care for, but they're there. They're a part of the action in a lot of anime. But I think that if anything to do with suicide or parental abuse towards children is a big no for you and something that you don't feel like you can handle, then I would not recommend this anime to you at all. Not saying that it's in support of those things, really the opposite. It's moving past those things. But if you can't tolerate watching that to be able to enjoy a beautiful story, beautiful animation and art, and a beautiful show, then I would not recommend this for you.
I was going to say, too, one thing that I did like about it was that it has a lot to do with growth, as you were touching on, that all the characters kind of come from a really, really dark place, some darker in different ways, but very dark. All of them, the main characters, and they become happy with themselves, with life. They learn things about themselves. They grow beyond what they were even meant to, quote, quote, or what one would think that they would be able to, or what they thought they were able to. So that's really nice to see. I mean, that's always a good thing to see.
Touching on that, one thing that I did like about that was that it's not like they change and then they like themselves because of the change. I think a lot of them stayed the same, but they learned more about themselves and how to
I think they got out of themselves, too. Like, reached out.
I think that was a big overall theme, is especially the main character not understanding human emotion and learning, like, what is this feeling? Oh, this is jealousy. What is this feeling? Oh, this is anger. What is this? This is loneliness. And I think it goes from learning about those sad and darker emotions, which are a shade of our range of emotion as humans that we all go through, and learning that those dark shades come from light, which is love, and you don't have those unless you're missing love or you're fearful. I thought it was interesting that he learned the negative emotions before he really understood that the reason he was feeling those is because he was falling in love and was learning how to care, really deeply care for somebody more than himself.
Mm-hmm. The main female character did have that, had a happiness, but she kind of forgot that she had that until later, that she started out with happiness and then kind of lost. And the same with Ruth. He started out with happiness and then lost and then regained again. So.
Yeah, one thing. Okay, maybe I'm just missing it in this one last episode. But I really wish they would have delved more into the origin and the backstory of the main character. I mean, I know they tell his origin as he is, and his background from where he was first found and who he was first found by and everything. But how did he become him? Like, I really want to know. Is that in the last episode? Tell me if it's in the other. Was he created? Was he preyed upon? I mean, wait.
I don't know if you people have been paying attention, but I don't remember. I know they go into a good bit about him, so I think I know the answer to that, so I would say it's somewhere in there, and if you've seen it all except for the last episode and still haven't found out, then I would assume that it is in the last episode.
Okay. Wow. I am not going to be able to watch it tonight. I already know how tired I am. I will definitely fall asleep before I finish it tonight. But that is in the next couple of days. That's a goal. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna make it happen.
Yeah, make it happen. All right, folks. Well, that was Nair Recommends Success Story with the Ancient Magus Bride.
It is our plan to do these in the future, so look for those in the future. If you think that's something that you'll like, we'll definitely delve into this.
Do you remember what you thought it was going to be like before you went into it?
I definitely did not think it was gonna be as dark as it was.
Agreed.
I definitely thought it was gonna be more like
romantic,
Harry Potter-esque. And I don't know why I did not know the main character looked like he did, so I was...
You might have thought it was a mask or something.
I was very taken aback. I don't know if I ever seen the main character. All I saw was her and Ruth because of all of our work with the Top 3 Shonen Dogs video. So I saw Ruth a lot, and I was like, oh, puppers. And then, oh, her, and... Oh, in this one scene, she's doing magic. Harry Potter-y. Okay. And then I'm like, whoa! Skull face guy!
See, that wasn't even the dark that surprised me.
That wasn't the dark part that surprised me. That was just something else that also surprised me.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah. Yeah. But anyway, I don't remember what I thought before watching it, because it's been a while since I've watched it. I just heard that it was really good on MAL. Everybody had good things to say about it. So I was like, gonna give it a chance. Because that's the way I am, you guys. You know that. I don't want spoilers. So if something is supposedly good enough by enough people, I will take that and I will run with it and give it a chance. And I did. And I liked it enough to where I recommended it to Bellow. And she also liked it. So everything worked out.
Yeah, so if you think it sounds like something you would like and... it's not gonna mess with your head to watch, then definitely go ahead and give it a watch. Like I said, it's a lot of those things, but it's not those things just for those situations' sake. It's not just for plot movement. They grow past it and through it and because of it, and they end up positive places, I guess, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? And that's a big core part of the show, which I really was not expecting that much depth from this show. I was not expecting it to be as three-dimensional as it was, so to speak. Yeah, because it's a 2D animation.
Yeah, no, I got it. I was going to say something, and then I'm like, no, I get what she's saying. Alright, guys, I think that's it for reels. And, yeah.
For shows.
For reels and for shows.
I'm Bellow.
And I'm Nair. And we were Perspeculative.
Thanks for listening. Watching.
Both.
Both is good.
Bye now.